Before a football match, legendary football manager Pep Guardiola doesn't hand his players a checklist. Instead, he shows them where they need to be on the pitch and when they need to be there. Now, this is the exact opposite of how most people are managing their days today. They create endless lists of things to do, but never look at where they need to be and when they need to be there. Most productivity advice focuses on what to do, how much to do, and what app you should be using. And yet none of that matters if you don't have the time to do whatever it is you need to or must do. Because ultimately, unless you start managing your time, you are never going to be able to manage your tasks. Because the philosophy is, and it's not just a philosophy, it's just the law of nature, that whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's to sit on the sofa and just vegetate for hours, take a nap, drive a car, go to the supermarket, or work on that report that has to be finished by the end of today, everything you want to do requires time. So we're not really wanting to be managing what we have to do, but rather we need to be managing how we use our time. Now, Pep Guardiola, when he's preparing for a game, has a number of tools. He has the players, of course, he has a pitch, and he has a game plan, and he has positions. Well, similarly, when you start your day, you also have a set of tools. You have your calendar, you have your work to do, you have your personal commitments, and you have your plan. Now, these all work seamlessly together. Now, Pep Guardiola uses his plan, his positions, which would in our case be our time blocks, to position things around the pitch so that they can reach their objective, which is to win the game. Now for us, we have our calendar and we can create little time blocks to be able to put around the day to ensure that the right things get done at the right time. So for example, if you need to pick your daughter up from her swimming class at 4:30 p.m, that would be on your calendar. But there's a little consideration here. If it takes you 20 minutes to get to the swimming pool to pick your daughter up, then you would need to leave at 3:40 p.m. at the very latest. However, it's probably wiser to leave at 3:30 to pick your daughter up. That's just an example of where you would put a plan in the day. You know you have to pick your daughter up, so you would set about making sure that you were there at 4 p.m. to pick her up. That's positional play in your calendar. And this is what we're doing every day. Unfortunately, many people never look at the calendar as a tool to be able to guide them through the day. They look at the calendar as just another place where their boss can fill it up with meetings and just leave you feeling exhausted at the end of the day. Which is why you want to be thinking like a Pep Guardiola. You've got to take control of your calendar so that you can position your things around the day so the right things are getting done when you're at the right moment. For example, if you're not very creative in the afternoon, if you generally have an afternoon slump and you go, oh, don't try and do your creative work or your most focused work in the afternoon. Bring it forward, do it early in the day so that the afternoon slump doesn't affect you, and try and push off your meetings to the afternoon when that human interaction kind of lifts your energy because you're communicating with another human being. Now, a simple way to do this is to open up a blank calendar, or open up your calendar each day, look at where your meetings are for the day, and then fill in around those meetings. Now, over time, I would strongly recommend that you push meetings to the point of day when you're not actually at your most focused. And as I say, most people, if you look at it, will find that the afternoon slump, which is why it has a name, usually affects people, and therefore the afternoons is not necessarily the best time to be doing focused work. But you may be different. You may find that doing your most focused work is better in the afternoon. Therefore, try and push your meetings to the morning, although that's generally a little bit more challenging when other people are involved. But this is what it matters. This is where it matters. It doesn't matter what's on your to-do list, because that doesn't give you an indication of how much time you have available. The only tool you have that will show you whether you can do something or not is your calendar. Now, one caveat here. Don't put individual tasks like reply to Peter's email or write this report or finish my report on your calendar, because that's just going to make your calendar become overwhelmingly horrible to look at. Instead, be tactical. And what I mean by being tactical is use the power of your to-do list, but categorize the types of tasks that you have in there. So for example, if you think about your email, it already has an inbox. And as long as you can filter those out and move the actionable stuff into a separate place, you've now given yourself an area that you can work with. If you're trying to work from an inbox with thousands and thousands of emails in them, you're just going to become overwhelmed and just feel, what's the point? Separate out the emails that you need to act on from the emails that you can delete, archive, or just move forward to somebody else. That way, when it comes, if you have a block on your calendar which says communication time, or comms time as people call it, all you need to do is open up the actionable email or open up the messages app in the inbox and just deal with your actionable emails. Not until you finish them, but just for the amount of time that you've set. What happens then is, if you're consistently doing this, you're never going to have a backlog of emails ever, or messages, because you're always touching it. You're always moving it forward. You're always clearing it. Now, with stuff like emails and messages, we have no control over it. We don't control how many come in. So all you can do is just allocate time to it every day. Now, sure, you may set up your plan for the day and it looks great when you start the day, but just as in football matches where injuries happen, goals get scored against you and players get caught out of position from time to time, we have to be able to adjust very quickly. Now, one of the things that you do with your calendar is, if an emergency pops up, then by all means just move a block, remove a block, or move it to another time. But stay in control, stay calm, stay composed. Don't panic just because something unexpected has happened. I mean, that's life. Unexpected things will inevitably happen. What you need to do is just make sure you've got the flexibility to be able to move things around on your calendar to reflect what is happening in the day. And if the way you can think about it is, the morning is the first half, the afternoon is the second half. We don't get water breaks in the day. Well, you can take water break at any time. So if you think of your day as two halves, the morning half is where you put the effort in, because as I say, most people are going to be at their most focused and clear in the morning. But if you're one of those people who finds the afternoons, fine, switch that around. But look at your calendar. But when you get to the lunch break, you get to the lunch time, that's your halftime break. You can adjust things if necessary to take into account what has changed in the day. That's just life. It's going to happen anyway. But the focus is to remain on the plan. And the plan is to get the most important things done by the time you get to the end of the day. And that's all you're trying to do. All the other things, they're just going to come up and you're going to do the best that you can. You're going to defend against those if you like. But stay focused on what's truly important to you. Most people create lists, but they never create positions. Now imagine if Pep Guardiola turned up for his pre-match team talk and said, "Okay lads, today I want you to defend, attack, score goals, and we'll win the game." Well, the players wouldn't know where to be or even when to be there. The only thing they would know is turn up at the kickoff and then the game is going to be 90 minutes later and it'll be over. Well, the same thing is what most people are doing today. They have this long list of stuff to do, but they have no idea when they're going to do it or what they actually need, where they need to be to do it. And this is why you want to sort of delegate the task manager to a lower position and elevate your calendar to a much higher position, because that's the position, that's the tactical level of your day. That's where you are allocating the time to do the things that need to be done. Now, when you do that, it makes your life so much easier. You also become much more confident at telling people that, I'm sorry, I don't have time to do that today, but I can do this at another time, and give them a time. And I honestly can promise you that when you start respecting your time, that's when more and more of the important things get done, and your bosses, your colleagues, and your clients will leave you alone because they know that you will get the work done. The reason why most people are interrupting you all the time is because they don't trust that you will get the work done, because you haven't demonstrated that you allocate time to being able to do the work. That's the kicker. That's the real secret to getting work done in a much more relaxed and more professional way. You don't have to run around the pitch all day exhausting yourself. You can get tactical. You can start looking at your positions. Where are you going to place your time blocks in the day so that you get the right things done? And although you might not win a football game, you will at least have a chance at winning the day. Now, if you want to learn more about how you can do this, this video up here will help you to do that.